Hey people, this is part 4 of the Nephilim series, and I'm reading the book of Job, and this is the one that they think is Job here, the ideal man, Rama. And you can see it on that last line I did in part 3, the man that the greatest of all the sons of the East. The sons of the East, the Eastern world, is the Orient, Asia. It consists of this area here, China, India. And so in the purple, we have the Abrahamic religions. And in the yellow, we have the Eastern religions. This would be India. And it was here, how they choice. I can't pronounce that word, but that's the Hindu word for choice. The S-E-Y-A-Y-S. The right choice, the choice, the right choice, the who, and then the A-N-G, on good will, Michael. Michael is the archangel of blue. The Michael in backwards and forwards after this tack. In Bing made feds. In time made feeds. The time made feeds. Feeds come from the east. So it would take a whole book to go into everything in this one chapter. And I'm sure by the time I'm finished with this, I want to go back and change some things. I've already learned some things that I want to change in the first line. But it's definitely talking about that. It talks about Buddha, the Buddha. It talks about Shiva, the Shiva. And talks about some more of these Hindu gods in here. But I'm going to try to get to these 2 lines, 4 and 5, to finish this up before my program starts loading up. Loading up, when I say loading up, I mean my computer gets really slow. So what you have here is an Englishman explaining what he learned in India. And you can see it in this first word here, the W-E-L and the C-H, the Welsh to, or the Welsh U-V of UVN of Innu, the Welsh of Innu. And it's where your word Welsh come from, the Welsh, to fail to honor a debt or obligation, uncertain origin, perhaps from Welsh on the account of the formerly alleged dishonesty of the Welsh people. Welsh, that would be the western side of England over here, was the Welsh, Wales. So you can see the little arrow here telling you that to read on through the Welsh of Innu. And if we take these letters, W-L-C-H-U-V-N-I-W and W-U or U-W, there's 2 of them with this mark, and put them in the translator, you can see to Welsh and the swind. And so Del is over here, Vel, or Del to the Swin or Swindell. But if we change the spaces up in these words, for wealth support, to welch on your bills, to wealth support. But this is all in Tamil, this is the Hindi language. And if we change the space here, it's wealth to you. And as you change the spaces, take that last W out, wealth does not matter. You change the I for a Y, and it's wealth relief. You change the H for E, it can go either way, the CE or the CH. And it's your Hindi word for Wales. You put the space here, and it's, wealth everyone. Communism. You take the last W off, and wealth does not matter. You change that U to a W, and it's the wealth advisor. And it seems that Rama's wealth advisor was his brother Lakshmana that he took to the woods with him. But best chances are, the British had changed the language in India when they took over and they set up all the schools. I'm sure they changed the language how they wanted to see it read. And so with this knowledge, we go back and read that line before. It's how they just see, how the right choice see who on good, A-N-G-D, will, on goodwill, and make, MKL, make of, in time made feeds. Maybe they'll make good of their debt in time. And so this language, it made it to evolve in our English, and so it pretty much reads English. The Welsh of in new to was of assume, USUMSE, assumes it habit, HBIT, assumes it habit. And then the shyest, the choice. This is SEYAIS, or if you add the E, it's the choice either way. That's reading, starts with A, so it reads backwards. SEIAI, I or Y, SE. The little line here tells you to turn around and read it the other way. And then the HA, go back and read it. HAYUM, the choice hyam to the choice home. It's either the same word in the Tamil. The hyam, the choice home, or the choice high. Assumes it habit the choice home to. And sell, and the diamond has you move this U on the other side. It reads on both sides, the A and H here. And sell, which to offer of, UFRAV, offer of, and then an extra vav there. The offer of will sell the sluts, SL, the sluts last. And so, you have sluts and you have slots. You're on the boat and you put all your sell what's, WTS, to sell what's, in its slots. To sell what's last. The list, going on board the ship is going on a list. And if you unload everything on one side, the ship is going to list to the other side. And then just one of these words. I like this one because it has more markings, but it just adds the U here. The meat. Meat is a word for honey. The meat which, WICH, are from they twitch. They're sisters. From they twitch, or the meat which, all a call, the all a chill, CHL, will set what? A mess. The mess halls where you go eat in a mess. Will set a mess. So this is the word that I read, wage, or how they wage when it's twice, or just how they when it's singular. And it has a little letter mu above here. How mu they. Mu is it's the 12th letter of the Greek alphabet, mu. And it's the symbol for micron, and it means little. In Japanese, it's a symbol for without, not have. In Buddhism, without. And it's in the word mutation rate, the little change rate in mutations. And so I'm going to read it as little, how little they. Kiki, little line up here makes this Kiki, keep account of, the keep of the records. How little they kiki, to keep account. Equip, EQIP, equip. And so equip, to equip actually comes from an ancient word that means ship, to equip your ship, to fit it out for sailing, to equip. And the magnifying glass up there means to drop an A after this. And how little they keep account of the quip of WAY, the way, from M, from, and then J, and then line tells you to read this again, MY, from Jimmy. From Jimmy is a click, is a day, but it's also just a click. You see all the Egyptian gods and sometimes the angels, the archangels, holding story poles. And a jimmy is every day that you move the line up to lay a new course of brick to the line. A Jimmy means another day in the story. As the master architect writes another day of the story. And so I usually read this Q as an F, and this would be like two Fs. And the EFFIP is actually an ancient Greek for stars, having to do with stars, to another day. And how little they keep account of equip the way from Jimmy, emastet, emastet, and then EUI, how. Emastet, how sail. In who obey. And that's why Job was said to be the greatest of all the sons of the East, because obey. And so this word reads a whole bunch of different ways depending on the line up here. But in who, in why, in who obey, UBAY, and who obey of. And then who fed, the M moves over here on this side of the S. And so it's who fed them says, S-E, and then the final M is an S. Who fed them says. You obey who fed them says. You're going to live in my house, under my roof, and eat my groceries. You're going to obey me, who fed them says. And how little they keep account of the quip, the way from the day amassed it. Put it all together, amassed it. Who sail in who obey. Who fed 'em says. We shacks who me kiss. MYKIS. We shacks who me kiss. And it's talking about the moon traveling through and touching all the shacks. We shacks who me kiss. In buffer. And then grab the Q again. In buffer the few hole. And then odal. The ode and the L goes with you. Ode it. Ode Lou. Ode it. The Ella, the gods. All what? And then they grab the U again. All whatum space. SPS. This is the space of the secrets and the sports. All whatum space. And then MR. More prickles. Kerm. And then backwards. RAMA, the Rama buoy. Rama buoy. So anytime it says something like in who fed 'em says, you got to figure out what the language is from what came above here, of what language it's speaking of. And you see it in all the ancient poetry, where they'll have quotes when it says in he said, and that quote will come from a different language. It might be in Latin or Hebrew or Greek. This prickles, this is a deity of rain, thunder, lightning, the one who fertilizes the earth. Paryana is the udder, and lightning is the teats of the rain cow, and the rain represents the milk. And this is where this association of the kings and the milk come from. The king reigns, and them milk. And all forms of this word, have to do with kings and reign. The one which reigned was the milk, just the MLK, milk. And the thunder is his roar. He is the father of the arrow reed, which grows rapidly in the rainy season, and also considered a protector of poets and an enemy of flesh-eating fire, and was adopted by various tribes later. In the Lithuanian is the Perkin, the Perkinas, Latvian the Perkins, and the Finnish the Perkel, god of thunder. And so it appears that the ones that fed them, was the Finnish, and the Perkels, and then Kerm, Kirm. And so when they use the word Kerm up there, it means to moan, to groan. And the thunder groaned. And Rama, going the other way now, Rama, Rama Vui Ale, watched at who of in of Verktu. Rama Vui and Rama Storm. And from space more perkles, more thunder growled. Rama Storm watched at who of in of Verk too. Verk, looked that up in the last movie. Verk was pig. Last time it came up, they said it was a blessing, and now it's the same thing. It's a curse, and they don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. I guess it depends on how much rain you had this season, whether it's a blessing or a curse. But when it's raining pigs, that's a lot of rain. But in this curse is, and from space more perkles groan, Ramavuiel, and Rama's storm watched at who of in of her UVR of her Kamiel. So Archangel Kamiel is one of the 7 archangels and holds the chalice every time you see her, always holding the chalice in the left hand and the story pole in the right. Here's switched up, got the chalice in the right and the story pole in the left. You see it's a story pole. They went out the way to put all the lines in there. And they try to tell us that all these angels are men, but they sure are some pretty boys. These are all women. They changed it. It's of her, UVR of her, with the chalice pouring it out from the heavens. She's the one over here with the chalice in the left hand and the Jimmy in the right. And you'll see that sometimes they say the Jimmy is the right hand, and sometimes they say it's the days. That's the Jimmy stick, the Jimmies. And is the angel of the anger, wrath of God, heat, rage, one who sees and stands before God, the fuse that are come, they say. It's only come when it's followed by another letter, but that's the fuse. Fumes arise to stand up. Claimed to be the leader of the forces that expelled Adam and Eve, holding a flaming sword, thunder, and excluded from the Holy See list of angel names because nobody's going to believe that Camille was a guy, because it's a girl. And you can see the little mark here where this word separates of her CHU, chum backwards, Miel, of the Camille. Hurricane Camille. They have all these different spellings, but you can see it here. This is the CHMU. Looks like they got it right here, the CHM. You see the EL on the end. It seems like they're always trying to hide something there. And so Camille isn't an angel. Camille, it's an adjective. And of her, Camille, and then ABL, of Abel, Camilleable, is, anything you put able on the end of turns it into an adjective. And so it's a type. It's a Camilleable. Invest, infill, cockajos, and this is just way out of place, the cockajos. And what it means is a mad red-faced monkey. Because this old cockajo, it's a monkey that's only found in South America. There's 4 types, and they're all in the Americas. And everybody knew that Camille represented Tuesday, Mars, the red planet. You can see here the Principatus Camille, the Mars symbol here. The 3, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The symbol of Camille, Mars. Ukari is the common name for the New World monkeys of the genus of a cockajo. Both the English and scientific names are believed to originate from indigenous languages, coming from the people of the Americas. And that's because when they burnt down all the libraries in the East, they didn't get to the Americas language. It comes from the old language. Rama spent a lot of time with the monkeys when he was in the forest, often represented with monkeys. Here's your first Mardi Gras, throwing some jewels toward the monkeys. Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. Of her Camilleable, invests cockajos in how a call, in how to eat ma from the Jimmy, from the days they miss. To eat from the days the missed, to eat from the past days. You know, things you missed or things that were in the past. And how to cull, you know, how to learn from the things that passed. So how little they keep count of efficiency, EFFI, efficiency, effect, cause and effect. You know, equip of the way from the days. And then the cockajos, you know, you monkeys, and how of knowledge to learn to cull from the days past. You know, learn to keep up with the days past and look for the repeating patterns. Efficient, coming from efficiere, to work out, to accomplish. Effect, you know, a Greek origin meaning of well spoken, or an Afric meaning of speckled one. And that was in the Finnish that it meant star, or well spoken, Fe. In Hebrew, Old English, and Old Greek, meaning star. So computer's pretty slow. It's loaded up pretty good here. And so I got out as much as I wanted to.
Don't forget, I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.